Hola, soy Señora Rounds. Enseño español in Lander Middle School. And I'm going to talk to Layla today.
So how'd you learn Spanish?
So I learned Spanish in high school. I started taking Spanish when I was 15, I think. And then I took classes in college because I really liked it. I went to Costa Rica when I was in high school. And I really liked that. And so I took all the Spanish classes that I could in college. And then there was an opportunity for me to go to Spain, and I really, really liked that. And so I decided to major in Spanish, and the rest is history.
Oh, wow. We heard you lived in Spain. How was it like there?
So Spain's awesome. It's a beautiful country. I went before any of you guys were born, back in 2004, and it was amazing. I was in Granada, which is in the south part of Spain. I lived with a host family, a single lady that lived in an apartment, and the apartments in Spain are kind of interesting because the bottom level of every building are like businesses, like post offices and grocery stores, bakeries. And so we lived above a grocery store and in a little apartment, and it was really cool.
What was like your daily life there?
So we would wake up, and I went to a school there, and I walked every day. It was small enough city, a little bit bigger, probably about the size of Salt Lake, I would say, but I could walk to the school that I went to. So I'd go to school in the morning, and then we'd get done with classes, and we'd usually go like eat somewhere. Sometimes I would go home for lunch. Almost every business in Spain closes between like noon and 2 o'clock, and they have what's called a siesta, which is a nap. It was one of my favorite parts of Spain. And they have their biggest meal of the day in the afternoon, and then almost everyone takes a nap. Some people go back to work or school after the siesta. I would usually just walk around the city with some friends that I had that were there. We would go to like restaurants and museums and just kind of hang out and learn about the culture and the city and the country of Spain. And yeah, it was really, really fun.
That sounds amazing. What was the culture like?
So, Spain is obviously a lot different than the United States, and just kind of being in a little bit bigger city than Lander. But there was actually quite a lot of poverty. There's a lot of homeless people, but amazingly, Spain is one of the happiest countries in the world. The food is amazing. They have just the best food there. I can't even begin to talk about the food because it was just, all of it was so amazing. But yeah, the people were wonderful. We saw a couple weddings that were really neat. They're like these big processions of people with, all dressed in fancy clothing. There was a fiesta when we were there, kind of like a carnival, where everyone kind of dresses in traditional flamenco wear, and we went to a bullfight, which was kind of interesting. We went to a flamenco dance. There's just so much to see.
How was the bullfight?
It was a little gory.
Oh.
They definitely a big part of Spanish culture, and I would definitely recommend that if you're going to Spain ever, just because it's such a big part of Spain. But it's definitely something to prepare yourself ahead of time that that's they kill the bull, and it's just part of what they do. But it was fun. I enjoyed it. Probably one of my favorite things I ate there was the churros. So they have these little kind of food stands, like little food trucks almost, and they're called churrerias. And you go up to them, they're just like in little kind of kiosks, and you walk up and they sell these big long cinnamon dough sticks, and you just everyone's walking around with like a paper full of little churro sticks and these like really thick cups of hot chocolate. They call it hot chocolate, but it's almost like Hershey's sauce, but it's so much better than that. And you dip it, and I think I gained probably 15 or 20 pounds just from the churros.
Oh, wow. And is there anything else you would like to add?
Probably a lot that I could add, but no, I just encourage you guys, if you ever have an opportunity to travel with a high school or in college, it's just something I always recommend for students and kids to do, because it literally really changed my life. That sounds really corny, but it will. It's just traveling it's such a neat thing to do, and see other people and kind of open your eyes to the rest of the world. So I would highly recommend it.
Okay then, gracias.
De nada.
Hey Prentice, I'm Ms. Wells.
Hi, Miss Wells, I'm Prentice.
Nice to meet you.
What is a Super Saber Day?
Well, Prentice, a Super Saber Day is two different kinds of things. So one, it's a reward for kids who've done their job to this point in the or this month. I'm sorry. So kids who have their work turned in, they've made great choices all month long. It's a break for them at the end of a day to enjoy some time with friends and pick a fun activity. And then it's also an opportunity for kids who maybe haven't had the time to stay caught up on their work, to use that time and get a little extra help and get their work done and get it turned in so their grades can show what they know.
What will kids that don't get the Super Saber Day do during the day?
That's a great question. So some students will be making up work with teachers in different classrooms, and then students who haven't made the best choices in the month of November will have some time to reflect on those choices. And unfortunately not get to participate in the activities. But the cool thing about Super Saber Day is that we are going to do it every month. And so if the kids didn't earn it this month, they're going to get a chance to earn it next month.
What are the activities for this month's Super Saber Day?
So for this month, we have some really different and interesting activities. The activities will change from month to month, and so they won't always be the same. But for this month, we have yoga with Ms. Zimmer. We've got some board games in the 7th grade pod with Miss McGilvray. We have a creation station where kids are going to get to do art projects. We've got a couple cool games going on in the gym with different teachers. What else do we have? Mr. Horton had a great idea for a snowball fight. Unfortunately, we don't have any snow right now, and so that may turn into just an outside game, and we might push snowballs off until we do have snow. Oh, there's also a chess match going on with Mr. Jensen. I think those are the choices for this month, but we've got some really exciting things coming up for December too that will be a little holiday themed.
Why did you create the Super Saber Day?
So we heard from a lot of kids that the kids who do their jobs every day aren't getting noticed, right? And so we have our Saber Bucks that everybody gets an opportunity to earn, but we wanted to do something that was a little bit different and special and to give kids just an incentive to work for, right? So if we're just doing our job all the time and we're never really getting anything out of it, it can get kind of boring and tedious. And so we're hoping this will give kids something that they want to work for, so they get their work turned in and they're making great choices so they can spend that time with their friends. We've got 3 different opportunities right now to earn fun stuff at LMS. So we have Super Saber Days. We've got grade level games where grade levels are competing right now to see who can have the least amount of tardies. And then of course we have our Keep It Up ticket.